Bad sex is ending more relationships than cheating. Hear me out. Not money, not arguments, not even infidelity. Bad sex. That sounds extreme, but once you understand the psychology and biology behind intimacy, it becomes obvious why so many relationships slowly die, without a dramatic breakup or a third person involved. Today I want to talk about what's really happening behind closed doors, why most couples struggle sexually, and how bad sex quietly erodes connection, respect, and love over time. Let's start with something that most people don't want to admit. They don't have a great sex life. It is more common for couples to have bad or mediocre sex than a great sex life, especially in long-term relationships. And the gap is very clear when you look at a woman's experience. Most men orgasm consistently during sex. A significant percentage of women don't, especially in committed relationships. That gap matters. Sex isn't just a physical release. It is emotional bonding, validation, reassurance. When one partner regularly feels unsatisfied or unseen, guess what? Resentment starts forming quietly. This is the most common couple that you will ever see. We're fine, but something's off. They don't fight much. They're polite. They function well together, but sex is rushed, predictable, or slowly disappearing. She doesn't feel desired. He feels rejected. Neither talks about it honestly with each other. It just gets brushed under the rug. They might say things like, "We're just busy. It's a phase." That's normal after a few years. Years pass, distance grows. Then one day, somebody says, "I don't feel close to you anymore." Not angry, not dramatic, just tired. Here's why sex is an emotional glue. This is what science tells us. When couples have truly great sex, there is an emotional afterglow, and that can last 24 to 48 hours after the event. During and after sex, oxytocin increases attachment and trust. Dopamine increases motivation and desire. Cortisol drops, reducing your stress. Win-win. That's not romantic talk. That is neurochemistry. Great sex regulates your nervous system. That's why couples who are sexually connected argue less. They feel safer emotionally and are more forgiving. They feel closer without even trying. Sex creates emotional resilience between you two. Now let's look at what happens when sex is bad or gone. Stress increases, insecurity grows, resentment builds up. The affection fades, and the attraction fades. Couples stop touching each other. They stop flirting. They stop feeling wanted. They become pretty good roommates. They still manage the schedules, the kids, the split bills. They handle their logistics, sure, but the intimacy is out the window. And when the intimacy dies, attraction follows pretty quickly after that. That's when people start seeking validation elsewhere. Not always physically, sometimes emotionally. That's why cheating often happens after intimacy has already collapsed. Cheating is not the root of the problem, it's a symptom. Here's a dynamic that destroys many relationships. Women stop feeling desired, men stop feeling wanted. She feels like sex is something done to her, not with her. And then he feels like he's constantly failing or being rejected. Neither feels safe enough to talk about it openly and honestly, so she withdraws emotionally. He withdraws sexually or avoids initiating altogether. Silence replaces curiosity. Resentment replaces desire, and the bond weakens. This is the most heartbreaking one. Couples who genuinely love each other, they respect each other, they share history, they don't want to hurt one another, but the sex has been bad for years. They'll say something like this, "We still love each other, but it doesn't feel romantic anymore." Love survives, but the attraction doesn't, and the desire doesn't. And without attraction and desire, relationships don't collapse overnight. They erode slowly. Bad sex isn't a small issue. It's the core issue, because sex is where desire is expressed, connection is reinforced, and emotional safety is built. Ignoring it doesn't make it go away. It just keeps damaging, and the damage accumulates. Most couples don't break up because they hate each other, they break up because the intimacy died and nobody knew how to revive it. This is the real takeaway. If you want a strong relationship, you cannot treat sex like a bonus feature. It is foundational. Great sex doesn't mean constant novelty or perfection. It just means curiosity, presence, a little bit of effort, and emotional safety. Because when intimacy is alive, love feels easier, conflict feels manageable, and connection just feels natural again. And when intimacy is ignored, the relationships don't explode. They will just slowly fade quietly. Bad sex is ending more relationships than cheating because by the time cheating happens, the bond was already gone.